Welcome to the Canines for Veterans podcast, Operation Honor. Join us on this amazing journey. Hosted by Michael Tellerino, your guide through these inspiring stories along with special co-host Kenny Avery. In this podcast, we will share personal stories and highlight impactful programs that empower our veterans. Discover the impact that service dogs have in the lives of veterans. Tune in to witness heartfelt moments and transformational journeys. Get ready to connect, learn, and be inspired by our veterans' stories. Operation Honor is here to uplift and empower. Let's begin this important mission together.
Hello, and thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Mike Tellerino. I am your host, along with my co-host, Kenny Avery. We have a very special guest with us tonight and a very good friend of mine, Steve MacInnes. Did I get that right, Steve?
Well, it's close, 2 E's, but that's all right.
Okay. Steve, you got a lot to talk about tonight, I know. First of all, give us a little background on yourself.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. I've gone through the last 8 years, lots of cancer, lots of strokes, survived them all. Decided that one way that I could give back was to write a book, and that's part of what the story is about, particularly when I was in the nursing home the last time. And I had 3 veterans that were with me and 2 of them that passed away, and it just clicked. It was time.
That's so sorry to hear that. Steve, you this book is about a journey you've been through with your cancers and stuff. Give us a little background about what your book is going to be about.
Well, first of all, I want to say the book's not a pity party. I want to get that squared away because people sometimes when they read books like this, it's the woe is me. Not at all. This just talks about how I learned survival beginning as a 2-year-old with polio. I actually was probably never supposed to walk again, I'm just one of those people that refuses to lose or refuse to give up. And then it goes on to talk about some things that weren't quite as nice, but I survived and made me stronger prior to going to Vietnam. And then my time in my Vietnam that I had, afterwards my marriage, and then when all my cancers and strokes kicked in, which was has been an 8-year journey. But through everything that I've gone through, I've had so many people say to me, Steve, you've gone through so much. Why don't you just write a book? Nothing seems to get you down. And I said, yeah, well, and then all of a sudden I decided to do it.
You are definitely an upbeat person. I mean, with what you've been through and to have the spirit that you have to keep going and keep up the fight, the good fight, I gotta hand it to you. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that would have that much stamina to deal with you dealt with and what you've been through, and to write a book about it.
And when they say that, I say to people, the subtitle of my book is "What's the Alternative?"
Right. That's right. God bless you. I got to tell you. I mean, it's how long did you serve in Vietnam, Steve?
I was actually in the Air Force for 7 years and in Vietnam for a little over a year, but I was also tied into the entire theater in my entire 6 years because I was overseas the whole time between the Philippines, Guam, and Vietnam.
Right.
What'd you do in the Air Force?
Steve?
Yep.
Steve, can you hear me?
Can you hear Kenny, Steve? He's asking what you did.
No, I didn't hear you, Kenny. I'm sorry.
What did you do in the Air Force?
I was in military intelligence. If you've heard of Operation Secret War, when the cross to that place began with the L that we weren't in. Part of the 1876 comm squadron, of which we were the absolute elite communications group for the Vietnam theater.
Nice.
That's amazing. Thank you for your service. Steve, tell us about this. Where I know you have a couple book signing tours coming up. Why don't you tell us about them?
Well, How this all started, a lot of people have asked me for years to do something like this, and it's in my book. It's part of the book talks about Alden. I didn't want to be in that nursing home. I just had another stroke. And the strokes that I have are called recrudescent strokes. It finally diagnosed it because, as you know, Mike, I've had several over the last few years. And it's the same stroke coming back over and over again, just doesn't create brain damage, but you do have side effects and stuff from it. So I went into the nursing home, and as soon as I got there, I said, I'm not staying here. I don't like this place. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I called my wife, and then, of course, if you leave, you lose your benefits, and that's not a smart thing to do. But my PTSD had kicked in, and finally, lady came in and we talked, and it's like the next day, I met some guys from Vietnam who were there who were far off, in my opinion, worse than me, and it just kind of woke me up, and then said, it's time to quit thinking about that in that respect, but look at it in a way how maybe you can give back. I'll give you the quick story of one of them. His name was Charlie. We were talking to him, a friend of mine, Steve Ringwinkle, and I were together with him. We were talking to him about his time in Vietnam, 1969 to 1973. We're thinking, what? 19, and then all of a sudden he puts his hands up like this. And we figured it out. Prisoner of war. He was a prisoner of war up in South Vietnam, which was different than the Hanoi Hilton and places like that. Most of those encampments were literally in the water with the cages and everything. And he spent 4 years there. They cut off part of his leg, beat him up, but his will and everything kept him going. I met him at Alden. He had cancer of the mouth and he was doing great. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. And then this one night, I'm just a couple, maybe 8 days before I left, I saw this guy come in and I recognized him. He was the son of a really good friend of mine, Vietnam vet, who I knew at the McHenry VFW, who we sang a lot of karaoke and stuff together. And it was him. And he didn't leave there either. But all of a sudden, I finally figured out, I said, you know what? I think I know what's going on here. I finally realized that God has told me I am not done. He has work for me to do to continue to minister to veterans and to other people to help them. This book, I'm not making a dime off this book. Every penny of this book, after, of course, book expenses, but every penny of the book, anytime someone buys it, that'll go towards a charity. For example, like if you've got we have a book signing during one of your special events or something, all that money will go to Canines for Veterans, because my charities are PTSD and cancer are my two big charities, right. And they're broken up into like several different things, but it's depending on what I'm doing. So like when I'm at the landing zone on the 26th, all the money for that night will just go right back to the landing zone.
That's great. God bless you for that. Steve, let me ask you a question. I'm sure Kenny would like to know this too, because Kenny's dealing with an issue, his own health issue. Yeah. What advice do you give someone who's struggling, that may want to just say the hell with it and give up? What makes them want to keep going? What advice could you give them?
Well, like I said, my subtitle of the verse is of the book is "What's the Alternative?" But the reality is, it's just something you got to just keep doing it. You got to stay positive. Yeah, right. Things are going to get you down and you're going to get upset. But if you keep moving, keep doing, and don't stop, just continue to ride, you just keep going. It's that simple. And you don't let these things get you down as much as you want them to. For example, Kenny, when I had my kidney taken out a year ago, they took my left kidney out because the cancer was going up into the kidney. When they took it out, it was an 8-hour surgery, and they took the entire left kidney out. But in addition to that, I was there for another 21 days, and the reason was I developed what they call an ileus. And an ileus is a problem in the intestine where you can't eat or drink anything. And I had that for like 16 days. Yeah. And I could have just bagged it right then and there, but I wouldn't do it. I refused to. And it's just, I really believe, Mike, that the strength has come from polio. It's something I didn't really realize until a while back, because I still have what they call post-polio syndrome, which is your fatigue, you have tiredness, your muscles and joints hurt, which sounds like old, but it's a little bit different because of what I have with my spinal cord stimulator. But I think that's the key. And God has let me know that He's there. And there's a verse that says He'll never give you anything you can't handle. And
Right.
I have hung on to that verse much more so maybe in the last 10, 15 years. I'm ashamed to say it, but when my wife had cancer, I didn't do a very good job of being an advocate for her. My dad had died of it. I didn't understand it. At that point in time, I was dealing with a lot of mental PTSD issues and stuff. I couldn't be the person I needed to be for her. But yet, through everything that I've gone through, she's been my rock. And
God bless.
we've been married 52 years now, almost
Wow.
53.
Impressive. Got a great wife.
Kenny, listen, like you, he's got an amazing wife, Laura, who is by this man's side 24/7 and 100% pro Kenny. Am I right, Kenny?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, you are.
You're a lucky man. I mean, I know Laura for a long time. I know her personally. I know that woman, and I know how much she loves you and how much she cares about what you're going through. You have a great advocate. So your spouse means so when you're going through something like that, to have somebody in your corner who's that much of an advocate means everything, I think.
And I think what you have to do is realize that they want to be there for you and that they are your advocate, that you don't, what I would say, compartmentalize yourself and keep yourself away and just let, I'm fine. Nobody else worry about me. I'll take care of myself thing.
Right.
You can't do that. And it's just that she can say a couple words that just mean something. And the other thing I like, my wife never lets me get down on myself. Like she said, well, suck it up and let's get moving, in a nice way.
Party for you.
In a nice way.
Yeah.
And so I think that's important. And particularly, as we're not in our young stages of life anymore. But, it's so many things you think about that you go through and you could have done differently. And I guess what I would say is that, people have different thoughts about how one would feel about this. But what people will tell you about me is I don't let it get me down. I don't have a pity party about it. But what I really want to do now, this is what I really want to do now more than anything. I want to get this message out to my fellow comrade vets. I want to, because there's a lot of them. Actually, some don't even realize that Agent Orange is a big responsibility for a lot of these things. And even if it is,
Yes, it is.
they don't want to do anything about it. But as a district commander for many years in DFW, and as a member of Post 2245 in Grays Lake, that I'm kind of like they call the mentor there now because I'm not in the high leadership roles anymore. But I'm working in these young veterans who are so great at getting the message out to their cohorts and stuff. It's an unusual VFW because 30% of our VFW is women, and they're all under the age of 50.
Wow.
So yeah, which is pretty unusual, for VFW. But my point being is, you have support groups, you have people that help you, and you have to accept it. You have to be willing to accept it. Most importantly, you yourself have to realize you can't do it alone. You're
Right.
going to always have people to help you. I think it took me a while to figure that out, but now that I know that, I want to get that message across to more people to help them maybe get through. I just had a review on the book the other day, and it made my book. It was from a veteran. He said, your book is amazing and inspiring. He says, it makes me understand that as I go through things, that I can continue to move forward in a positive manner. I thank you for giving me this book. And that just made me feel great. I said, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. That's the whole point.
You got a great message, and it's very uplifting and very positive. And I think that means so much when you go into a crisis, that you have a positive mental attitude about it. If you have the defeatist attitude, it's a no-win.
You know, when I was in Vietnam, you had to have that positive attitude because you were never not working. It's 24/7,
Right.
even when you weren't, because there were rockets flying all over the place. So you learn to be aware and you learn your due diligence. But I think the one thing it really taught me responsibility to myself and to my brothers and sisters that I was with, and that's stayed with me.
Well, God bless you for what you're doing to help spread the word about, there is a fight out there. You don't just give up. You fight
No,
every day.
no.
And through your book, you're going to get that message out, and it's going to mean a lot to people who read that book to get the incentive to be like you. I mean, that been through hell and back, and you're still fighting every day. So God bless you.
Yeah, I'm recovering from my fourth stroke from 6 weeks ago. Uh, I'm doing my thing. I'm already out on my trike, riding my trike, doing that. And of course, one of the reasons I had this shirt on right now is because this is Cancer Awareness Big Month, and I'm involved in two events. One is the Walk to End Bladder Cancer, which is actually in Chicago,
Right.
and I have that on my website, Steve MacInnes, where you can, if you want to donate to it, people feel free to do that. Again, this goes, and then the other one, which is Cancer Walk Roll Ride. It's the first time they're going to have rides, so I'm going to take the good old orange trike down to there for that part of it, and that's it on May 30th. And then of course, here comes Memorial Day right after that, and then 20. There's so much to do, Mike. There is so much to do.
Tell us about your cycling. You love that bike.
And Mike knows about this, when I first couldn't walk, and I couldn't walk, what, Mike, 3 years, maybe, something like that. Because I went to some of his events, and I was either on a roller or on my trusty walking stick known as Otis. People say, "How's Otis doing?" Otis is doing great. And Otis has come out of retirement 3 times now, but this time probably a little more than normal. I love my trike. A first trike I had was also a full recumbent, but it didn't work for me because I couldn't get out of it very well with my back and stuff. And then this company came up with its trike design. But what's more important is how I got the trike. And this is the message I want to get across. If you are a veteran and you are 70% disabled and you do that as a result of spine issues that you have, you can get a trike 100%.
Really?
All you got to do is you contact me. I'll get you in with Challenge Athletes Foundation. I'm riding in a $3,100 Admotor 360 trike. I love it. It's got big wheels. I can go, people love it when I go by on my orange trike. And I was in a couple charity runs last year, and some people were going up the hill and they were struggling. So I just said, well, I'm just going to put it in the high gear now and just slide right up by them. And when I got done, they said, "You smoked us." He said, because there was a total like two trikes out of the 300 that were in the race.
God bless. Kenny, we need to get a trike.
Yeah, we do.
Let me tell you, I can help.
I got a 2-wheel Harley. That's my.
Well, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah, it's again, your story, it's just amazing, the stamina that you have to keep going the way you're going with all the adversities you've had. I mean, you're such an inspiration to anybody that's going through it. Kenny, what do you think about that?
Well, Steve, I went through all the emotions when I found out about me.
Can't hear Kenny.
Oh, I don't know why. No, I just went through all the emotions like everybody. But you got to keep moving. You got to keep going, and that's, I thank Canine for that. My wife, my friends, Canine. Without them, I'd have gave up last year. But
Kenny, I want to say to you, first of all, my heart's there for you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Second of all, you've got a great attitude. You know your situation, But you're not giving up. You're another example of it. You aren't going to give up. You're going to just keep on going.
He's a fighter.
And what you do when you keep on going is you keep on riding. That's simple.
You know, my biggest thing is it's not about me at all. I'm here, I guess, for some ungodly reason. For some ungodly reason. My whole thing is, taking care of my people, my veterans, first responders. I want to make their lives a hell of a lot better than what mine was, and that's what keeps me going. And the dogs keep me going. And, like I said, I could have gave up a long time ago, but, I got too many other things in life that I need to do. I need to do before I go. And I want to take care of people. And that's what it boils down to. I just want to take care of people.
Kenny, you do a great job at that. Steve, he is such an advocate of the veterans that come into the program to let them know that this program could help them. They're not alone, that we'll give them the support and everything they need. But you know what? They got to put their best foot forward.
Right. Does Kenny know about Luna?
I don't know.
No, I've never met Luna.
Because that's one of your pet stories right there.
Go ahead, tell him.
Oh, you tell him because you're the one that did it.
No, you tell him.
I wanted a service dog, and Luna is not technically a service dog, but Luna is a special dog. It's been 8 years now, almost 8 years.
Yeah.
Mike found Luna in a trailer court, and it was just left abandoned for like 2-3 weeks, I believe it was. She was tied up, and she looked terrible. She was skinny. We have pictures of it and everything.
Terrible.
And Mike got her and took her home, took her to the place, and worked with her. And Johnny, God bless his soul.
Oh God,
Johnny and Luna were like this.
Yes, they were.
In fact, I think there's a picture with Johnny on one of his things, and it's Luna that's in the picture with him.
Yeah.
And so Luna is a tiny dog, 150-pound bull mastiff. Now, Mike told me that Luna was a large dog. He didn't quite go into detail, but we got the
tarnish the chance of you taking that,
But what happened was we got the dog from my daughter Courtney, who has PTSD, but she's really a family dog, Mike, as you can tell as you watch the videos, you can see that she's with Courtney 24/7. Courtney has issues of seizures, and whenever she's a seizure, Luna's right there. So even though she's not 100% a service dog, she's definitely a companion dog. Yeah. And she's just amazing. She's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dog.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Dogs know. Dogs know when something's wrong. I honestly, I truly believe this, that my dog knows I have cancer, and he's always there. He can tell when I'm down. He can tell when my anxiety's going. He's a service dog too, but I swear sometimes he's just like, Dad, don't worry about it. We got this. And that's the other thing I'm grateful for K9. I mean, I got dogs, but I got Goose, and keeps me going.
I lost my service dog not too long ago, Samantha, who I had for 8 years.
That was your second loss, right?
Yeah, second one. And then when I lost her, I didn't want another dog right away. I was so heartbroken, so devastated that I can't do this again. That they don't live long enough. And Sam passed away. I mean, totally out of the blue, no warning, nothing.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Kate called me and said, Mike, you need to get another service dog. I said, Kate, she said, Mike, just come in. Well, I want you to see this dog. Her name is Sierra. I went, oh, God. I said, Kate, what kind of dog is it? She said, Michael, it's a Malinois. I said, Kate, I'm too old for that kind of dog. They're athletic. They're too hyper. They're too rambunctious. I need a dog. Michael, just come in. Well, I came in, and I fell in love with Sarah the moment I see. Sarah would give Malinois a bad name because she is the calmest dog I've ever been around. You don't even know she's in the house. I mean, she follows me everywhere. She loves the hell out of Reggie and me. She follows us everywhere.
Yeah.
No matter, she carries a blanket with her wherever she goes. Okay. So it's just like, it's crazy. But these dogs, like Luna, like Kenny's dog, they mean so much to us. And I'm so happy that you took Luna in on a if come maybe basis, you know, and she turned out to be such a huge part of your family and such a huge part of your life. I couldn't be happier. Believe me.
And what's really important is she's there for my daughter and takes care of my
Courtney's
daughter.
a beautiful child. Beautiful child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I adore her.
And as Mike knows, Courtney has PTSD, has a lot of issues, and Luna is perfect for her. But it's good for that.
We're going to be ending this quick. So I just want to get your book out one more time. Tell us where they can purchase your book.
Yep.
Where you're going to be at for these book signings.
The book is all right. The book's going to be The Warrior's Ride Isn't Over. You can purchase it on Amazon. It is both in the paperback and also Kindle book as well. So you either way. On top of that, my book signings on May 17th, I will be at the Grays Lake 22 a day Jeep for Vets, hosted by Jeep for Vets and Post 2245 out of Grays Lake. I'll be there for that, as will Mike and a service dog or Brad, whoever's going to be there. And then on the 26th of May, I'm going to be at the landing zone. The landing zone is Veterans Path for Hope Family Services in Grays Lake. It's an offshoot of it. It's part of the same group. In fact, Jim Dolan is the one that's highlighting my book for me. And that's going to be on the 26th of May at 4:00 in the afternoon at the landing zone in Grays Lake. And then at the VFW State Convention, I will be doing book signings for 2 days at the VFW State Convention. And if somebody comes to and buys the book there, I promise you I will personally autograph it.
Awesome. When we're done with the podcast, it's going to be live. As soon as we're done, it's going to be right on the K9 page, Operation Honor page, and my page. Go to the K9 page and post the link for your book.
Go to K9?
Yeah. So you post a link in the comments section so people can know where to go to get this book. In case
I will do that.
Podcast. If they watch the podcast, maybe they can click on that link and purchase your book. Steve, I can't tell you how proud of you I am for what you've been through, and you're such a stand-up guy. I give you all the credit in the world. You're a strong person, and this book is gonna help so many others to be inspired by your story. So God bless you for what you did in writing this book, and it means a lot to a lot of veterans, I'm sure.
Well, Mike, what you've done is just unbelievable. Not only are you a friend and a brother, but you are someone who, to me, exemplifies how you really can do something to give back to veterans. Your program, which I've known since it started from the very beginning, is just, I'm so proud of you, brother. So proud of you. And Kenny, I just want you to know that I'll pray for you 24/7. You're in my heart going forward. I will think of you, and you continue to fight the fight, brother.
You know what?
You too, brother.
I wish I could take the credit for K9. I have such an amazing team behind me. Our Vice President, Reggie Latuga, Kenny, one of our directors, Dan Miller, one of our spokesperson. I can't name them all, but you know what? Without them,
you got a great group.
I couldn't do what I do. They do it from their heart. They don't do it because it's something they get to do. They do it from their heart. It's an amazing team. I'm so proud of the team that I work with. They make what I do seem easy, believe me, because of their hard work and everything they put into it. So, Steve, I want to thank you for being my guest tonight. Go share this podcast, get the story out. God bless you and for everything you're doing for our veterans to help spread the word. There is light at the end of that tunnel.
And that's to wrap it up. That's the point I want to get across is there's light at the end of the tunnel. But while you're going towards that light at the end of the tunnel, stay positive and keep riding.
Right. Well, you're a good role model, sir. God bless you and thank you.